I'm Max. The entire population of individuals in the United States, and even the entire world, is in very good hands. On one side, we have a perfectly healthy, consistently honest, and exceedingly intelligent woman who has devoted her entire career to conserve the well-being of this country. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have a kind-hearted, unprejudiced, level-headed, selfless, and down-to-earth gentleman who has promised to make this country great again. And just speaking on that slogan alone, it is truly comforting to know that he alone will make the United States like it once was, even if it's only really been known for genocide and torture in the beginning, slavery and racism in the middle, and economic ruin along with governmental deception in the present. But let's ignore all that. I seriously couldn't be more excited to vote for our president. The decision is perhaps one of the hardest this country has ever had to face, thanks to the dick-sucking, biased, cultist freak fanbase, the devoted and ardent Trump supporters versus the rigidly closed-minded retards, what I meant to say was the blissful and safely shelter-minded Hillary supporters. And who the fuck is Gary, Jill, and Daryl? Obviously losers, since I don't hear about them. Just like I didn't hear until recently about how a good friend of mine back in the army died in combat around 2 months ago. I didn't hear about it because it obviously wasn't important, despite it being something enormously significant to my life, but that doesn't matter. Just like these candidates, they don't matter. If my local media coverage isn't on top of it, then why the fuck do I need to know about any of these failing underdogs? I don't. Everyone knows you gotta be famous, because the more famous you are, the more likely you're gonna be the next president. In fact, Katy Perry should run for president, because she's super fucking famous and lots of people like how she acts, so yeah, America will get her in office no problem, just like we were doing with Donald, regardless or not of his temperament. Anyways, you know life is good when you have the opportunity to pick one of two godlike geniuses that this world has ever seen to be commander-in-chief of an office that has the military strength to carve an illustriously splendid utopia of a world for us. Isn't that such a comforting thought? But let's not get into best case scenario. Let's stick to what might happen based on the history of politics in the United States. Will Trump or Hillary deliver on their promises, just like every other politician does, and ostensibly improve on every single department in this brilliant nation? Of course they will. They're the president. That's their job. Just like every other president has done, they rectify everything in their wake in the eyes of every living individual that is capable of thought. And realistically, even if they can't, at least they'll just keep it running for another 4 years. No, not into the ground. Not into the ground. That won't happen. It's not like every other person and media outlet is screaming out how either candidate can pragmatically declare war on other countries and potentially end the lives of thousands to millions of innocent people. They are perfect human beings that can't make mistakes because they're going to be the president. They know what they're doing, don't they? And it's not like their political parties have the exact opposite outlook on how they want to approach problems or anything. I mean, we're all human beings and we all want the same thing, don't we? Don't we? Don't we? Don't we? Don't we? Don't we? Just look ahead. The world has a bright future. Toodles.